Hi everyone, welcome to my channel, Tea and Pups. So today I'm talking about my favorite enrichment toys. And so if you don't know what enrichment toys are, these are really just like toys and activities that allow for a dog to really be mentally and sometimes physically stimulated. This is especially important for puppies who sometimes get a little bored. And oftentimes that boredom turns into destruction. We had fosters in the past that if they were, left to their vices too long in the crate, they would start to chew up things, and they would start to bark incessantly and all those different things. And mind you, it's like sometimes we would only have them in the crate for like 30 minutes as we're like conditioning and working with them. But they would get bored, especially like those working breeds. We did have a border collie who was bored constantly because of the fact that, as a border collie, she is a working breed, so she has to have a job to do. And so I was just fostering her, and I lived in an apartment, so there wasn't a job for her to do. And so she would get bored very easily. And so I had to adopt some enrichment toys to really keep her engaged when I wasn't able to be, next to her at that time, or whenever I needed to crate her for a period of time. And so, yeah, let's get into it. So for my first enrichment toy, I actually discovered these a few years ago when I had first adopted my personal dog. And I purchased one hoping that she would really like it. She did not. My brother's dog broke the puzzle, so I didn't buy any more until last year when we got our first foster, Honey. So the first enrichment toy is a puzzle. And so this is the most recent puzzle that I purchased. This is what it looks like. I actually paid only about $6 for this. They're currently, I think, on sale at Petco, and then I also saw them on sale at Chewy. And so these are really cool. This one is, the brand is called Outward Hound, and I believe they're designed by Nina Ottoson. What's really cool about these, and that you'll notice about my other enrichment toy as well, is that they have levels to them. I believe this is a level 2. And the levels are oh my gosh, I can't talk. The levels are based on difficulty. And so I think this one is either a level 2 or a level 3. And so this one is intended to be a little bit more complicated for those dogs who, figure things out really quickly, the ones that are super food motivated, or the older dogs that are just like, look, I know all the tricks. So this is a level 2 or 3. I had a level 1 before. One of our fosters destroyed that one. She would pull the lids off. There were lids instead of these little like sliding things, and she would pull the lids off and chew them. So we no longer have that puzzle. So I went and bought this one, especially once I saw it was on sale. And so with this, you see there are like these little holes everywhere right here. You'll take a treat and put it in there, and then you could either take the little fin and cover it up, or you can take the sliding circle, put that on top, or something I do with my boyfriend's dog because he's super smart is I do both. He still finishes it in about 30 seconds, but he's also a 9-year-old lab. He's like, I'm super smart. I've been here for 9 years. I got this, girl. But I do use these with puppies, and it's actually really fun and cool to see them like try to figure it out and try to get to the treat that's in the hole. I will say, just as a warning / disclaimer, if you have a puppy or a dog that you most like recently got or don't know as well, I would say supervise them with toys like this. There are parts, just like a baby, right? Like you have to be careful about babies and like choking hazards and all those different things. And so it's the same thing with puppies and dogs, being really careful and mindful about the things that you give to them unsupervised. And so that's why I think it's really important for something like this to possibly be supervised, or maybe like if they're laying next to you while you're at work, like give this to them so they're not like barking or trying to like, bother you as much. Because there are parts that they could, if they're really strong, they could probably rip these off and chew them, swallow them, all those different things. And so, yeah, definitely be mindful of that and watch them whenever you introduce these to them. So yeah, that's one of the first enrichment toys that I really like. And then the second one, you've probably all seen these before, Kongs. We have about maybe 5 of these around the house. This is a like highly trusted enrichment toy that a lot of people use. They're very simple to use. They're easy to find. They're not super expensive. And yeah, I think they're like maybe 10 bucks and they last forever. Like you can see this one is very well used. But they last forever. I have not seen or had a Kong that was destroyed to the point where it could no longer be used. And I've had a dog for 8 years. So I can attest to these being great enrichment toys that are long lasting, that are cheap, all those things. So the thing about the Kong is, just like the puzzle, they come in levels. With these, they have like a light blue and light pink for puppies. So they're not as rigid. They're gonna be a little bit more flexible than the adult toys, just to allow the puppies to actually be able to like get inside to get some of the, you know, goodies inside of the actual Kong. And then they have these, which I think are like regular. Then they also have a level up, which is for super chewers. So these are for the dogs that are really big chewers and really strong chewers. So we have a few of the regular, and I see a super chewer one on the table. And so with these, there are really 2 ways that you can navigate Kongs. There's like a quicker way versus a little bit longer. One way that I prefer to use Kongs is just simply filling it with something that I know our dogs really like. So behind me, I have some yogurt. So you can put some Greek yogurt if your dog isn't like lactose intolerant or sensitive to dairy. Peanut butter, that's always the move. And then some treats. So what you could do is use your finger, use a plastic fork, use a knife, whatever. You'll, you know, of course, go into the peanut butter or the yogurt and you'll take it and put it inside the Kong and smear it all across the Kong. And then you can drop some treats or you can drop some kibble in it and boom, give it to your dog. The alternative to that is if you want to make it a little bit longer lasting, what you'll do is follow the same steps. But instead of just giving it to your dog, you'll actually freeze it for a while and then give it to your dog. That allows for everything to solidify and stick to the Kong a little bit better. And it gives your dog more time with the Kong versus if you just put it in there. Sometimes they can get everything out super quickly and then they're just like, hey, I'm done. If you freeze it, it gives you a little bit more time. So yeah, so like I said, the puzzle and the Kong are 2 of my favorite enrichment toys. I find that these are very effective, especially with puppies. If they're, you know, these are new toys to them, they're trying to figure it out and they're just like, how does this work? I definitely, you know, can attest to the puzzle and the Kong being really good enrichment toys to really keep our fosters and our dogs mentally and physically stimulated. And so, yeah, definitely check these out. I'll be sure to make more videos about enrichment toys and treats in the future. I just wanted to cover these really quickly because we do currently have a 4-month-old puppy who is learning to use the Kong and figure out the puzzle. So thank you for watching. I hope to see you on the next video. Bye.